Hey everyone, it's Aging Grateful. I'm Bobby.
I'm Cedric.
And this video is if you've been thinking about moving to Mexico, you may want to put San Miguel de Allende on your list.
Right up at the top.
Right.
So, we're going to talk to you a little bit about San Miguel. I know what you're thinking. Like, this is the expat capital of Mexico. There's so many gringos. Everybody speaks English. Yada, yada, yada. I mean, I hear that every time we mention San Miguel.
However,
popular to the contrary, foreigners and as a whole only make up 10% of San Miguel, the population of San Miguel.
absolutely. Now, where we may be getting a lot of people who are vacationing or traveling to San Miguel de Allende, people that actually live and reside and thrive here in San Miguel that are not locals only make up 10% of the population. So, you know, there is growth opportunities here, and to be able to move to a beautiful area of Mexico. Now, though we love Mexico, though we love San Miguel de Allende and all its beauty and everything, there are some challenges to moving abroad to Mexico and maybe other places, but that we want to also talk about also.
Yeah, first up is language.
Now.
Language. I mean, it goes back to what we were saying about, you know, expats only making up 10% of San Miguel. You know, we want the impression that everybody here speaks English, and you know, you hear that all the time, but
people talk about it all the time. Saying, oh no, you're fine. You know, they speak a lot of English, so you'll be good.
That's not the case. I mean, there's definitely English spoken here, don't get me wrong, especially if in Centro, when you're around, you know, the more touristy parts, you'll have English spoken, but it's nowhere near what I expected.
Or what you would think.
Yeah.
You definitely want to, don't let it deter you now,
yeah,
but you definitely want to be able to at least begin the process of learning and having the mindset that you will continue to do so and want to continue to learn Spanish here, because this is how you're going to communicate. This is how you're going to immerse yourself in the culture with the locals and to live a life, right?
Yeah, and it just makes everything easier. Language, it can be a challenge. I mean, to be honest, I thought I would be speaking a lot more Spanish than I do.
¿Dónde está Nuera? ¿Nuera que te llama?
I was naive in the fact thinking, oh, you know, you just go live somewhere, you immerse yourself in the culture, in a year or two, you'll be picking it up. No. Now, maybe if you were just in some place where no English was spoken at all and you had to like work, you know, something like that.
Really like devote like 100% of your time to
then,
learning.
You know, that may be different, but typically what happens here, especially in the expats, we kind of hang out with our own. Yeah, we do, you know, hang with locals and stuff like that. I know we do hang with locals, but the majority of the time you're around people that's, you know,
speaking more English than Spanish is what he's saying. And also those locals that we do have as friends and family members, they are also trying to learn English more too. Right. So it's like they really want to learn to speak the English, and so that also happens a lot as well. However, also let me go ahead and add, to plug San Miguel, there is a school here devoted to speaking Spanish, right? A Spanish immersion program that they have here in San Miguel. There are a lot of people who attend this university, I want to say.
Yes, university.
This university, and it is one of the biggest universities here in Mexico for Spanish immersion that we are aware of.
Yeah,
And
they take the GI Bill.
they take the GI Bill, so a lot of military people come here to visit and live and immerse themselves in that school, that program. So that's a benefit and a plus to you guys who want to come to San Miguel, that if you are maybe wanting to use the GI Bill for such things as educating yourself in Spanish, the language, and the culture here, that's a benefit here of being in San Miguel. So let's move on to the next, right?
We talk about bills. Paying bills is can be a challenge sometimes. It's totally different. I mean, they typically fold the bill up and stick it in your door or
And
fence
we're talking
or
about
front
utility.
yard.
We're talking about utility
Yeah, we're talking about
bills.
utility bills. We're talking about, you know, your,
Not dollar bills, but
you're talking about your
not tucking dollar bills in there.
electric and, you know, gas and all those type of things.
You actually, not only do they just walk past and put the bills in your, you know, maybe your door slot or under your door or what have you, a gate. The way that in which you pay your bills is very interesting because you have an option. Now, we do pay our bills online.
Yeah.
So there are options here in San Miguel to do that, but sometimes that doesn't necessarily work. So for the people that are lucky enough to be able to have that ability to do that, good for you. Otherwise, you're paying everything cash, by the Mexican pesos, and you would go to such places as like your local OXXO, which is the, what do you call it? The convenience stores that you have here that's, you know, locally on the corners and stuff like that. And so you pay your bills, your utility bills, that way.
Yeah, and I was about to say that, and there's really no consistency on the online. It's convenient, but you may pay it 1 month and then the next month it's not working. The credit card is not working. It doesn't take the credit card anymore. Now it wants a different type of credit card. It's just a lot of hit or miss with that. And also here, you don't get a grace period on the bills.
No,
it's due the day it's due. And if you don't pay it, it'll be cut off.
Absolutely. So don't say, oh, you know, I'm gonna wait 30 days before I pay. No. As soon as you get that bill, because we had just got one this past week, and the day that it was slid into the slot here, I quickly pulled it out, went online and paid it. And that is something that you do have to wrap your mind around, that there is no specific grace periods here when it comes to things. But the convenience of being able to maybe go to your local convenience store and them scanning the bill that you get and paying it with pesos, it's a done deal. So you also have to think about that sometimes that's can be viewed as a good thing. It's done and it's over with and you don't have to worry about it. I like the fact that even with me doing real estate here, which is so interesting to me, is that's how I actually paid for my membership for access to the MLS and things like that. So that was like interesting that you just go and you pay at your local
convenience. You pretty much pay
convenience.
anything at OXXO.
Yeah, anything.
Kind of
Your
weird.
cell phone bills. I mean, anything at the local convenience store, and not have to wait maybe necessarily in line at a place to go and do that if that's an option that is given to you. So, I mean, there are some plus and minuses in that, right? But it is a new mindset that you have to have in that things are due now, right? Also, a little bit next is
Cell phone.
cell
phones. So cell phones can be a challenge. You hear a lot of time, the first thing people do when they come to Mexico or abroad or out of the United States, they go down and get a local SIM card, pop that in their phone, and off and running. That is true. However, you have to, what we've come to find out is it's basically the equivalent of doing a pay-as-you-go in the United States. So even though it will work, you don't have priority on the network it's not like you're paying a premium cell phone plan thing. It's like going prepaid, Boost Mobile, or whatever it is in the States. So the text and talk will work pretty much majority of the time, but data can be a challenge. And if you're out and about somewhere and you need to do something and you're not speaking Spanish and you think I'll just use Google Translate, I guarantee you the phone will be fine 99% of the time, but that one time you need to use Google Translate, it will not work. You will not get data, or it seems like anytime you're trying to do any kind of business, the cell phone just won't work.
And again, that's if you are doing one of those,
prepaid stuff.
Prepaid, pay here and do you. However, if you are looking to live in a place, you might want to go ahead and just get the regular plan like you would if you walked into Verizon or T-Mobile or something like that, and just get a plan service. It's about average about $25 per month for I think it was like 10 gigs, unlimited talk and text and all of that, just like you would get in the States. So, but you may get it for maybe a cheaper price. So, I mean, think about doing that as well. Those are options to you as far as cell phone service, but definitely when you need it.
And if you're the type of person that all you need is talk and text, then you'll be just fine.
Yes.
You'll be just fine.
Yes, and light data, but I would recommend just getting a plan if you are going to be moving and living here.
Or being there for a long period of time.
Right, because the plans can be quite pricey coming from the States versus here with your plans. Which brings us to our next thing.
Which is mail.
Mail. Okay.
How does getting mail work?
How is mail a challenge?
Because there's not a U.S. Postal Service where you got a mailman walking around delivering mail to your houses. That's not how it works.
No. And though I know in some areas they say they do have like maybe a postal office, and may very rarely get postal mail. It is not anything major. It is like
right.
There's a good luck if you do get a envelope or some piece of mail from the States here, just writing an address and putting it in the mailbox.
Yeah, that typically doesn't work, because typically the mail that you see being delivered, for example, like the bills and things like that, are the people that work for those companies, and they're walking around,
or hired by
the companies, and they're walking around delivering. If it's the power company, you got people working for the power company that are walking around delivering the mail for the power company. So it kind of works like that. So you have to have some type of mail service for your mail.
Absolutely.
And it's a challenge. It takes time. It's not,
It is. And the thing is that you really do have to have some type of a third-party service. If you are coming from, in this case, we're talking about United States, but if this is the same in Canada or other places where you may have to have some service set up there to send your mail to a service here, and then the service provider here or company will deliver the mail for you, or you go pick it up. So these are things that you have to get used to. Now you're not gonna check your mailbox and be some mail in there. No, it does not happen that way. However, one of the beautiful things that I do love here in San Miguel is that they do have mail services here that will actually take care of your packages, make sure that the mail is coming in, and actually deliver the mail to your home so that you know that it's getting here. So that is something that is definitely here.
And I'm about to say, the other thing, DHL, FedEx, they all deliver just fine.
Absolutely.
Amazon
for sure. Fine. Listen. So Amazon, this is the secret. I'm sharing. I'm pretty sure everybody else in this in Mexico and abroad knows this, but I will say Mexico has its own segment from Amazon. So there is an Amazon Mexico. and you can look at prices there. But also compare. So the regular Amazon that you at Amazon.com, check the prices of whatever items it is that you are looking at ordering there, because the shipping may be expensive to get it here. But check also Amazon Mexico for the same product, just to see what the pricing is, because I think a lot of times we just hit click and purchase and have it shipped and don't care the price point. But you may be able to get it a little quicker, or you may be able to get it a little bit less expensive if Amazon Mexico has the exact same product here ready for delivery. If that makes sense. So.
And even Costco delivers.
Yeah, Costco. We also get, we have people actually services here that will actually drive to pick up your items and shop for you and bring them back here in San Miguel. There's so many. We get Uber Eats as far as delivering and order things. You have Rappi, and then you have maybe your local drivers who are committed to assisting you in getting things. So there's ways around it here to make it a little bit more convenient and accessible to get things that you may or may not necessarily need.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what's next?
Let's see. We could say one thing, if one challenge you have, I'd say, it's a challenge, but if you're trying to recreate your lifestyle that you have in the States, it can start to be pricey.
Oh my gosh, yes. So
and you can do that. Let's
yeah, it's your choice.
Yes.
However, this is a good point, because it actually covers 2 points for us here in this stream. That is that your mindset may have to shift and change a bit for things, and if you choose not to change some things about your lifestyle or living, it can be costly. As an example, there's a lot of brands here that you can get that they've exported from the United States and other areas, other countries. And you can definitely, if you're saying I'm missing something that I'm getting, that I had at home, then I want to go ahead and get this. You may be surprised that it may be a cheaper price point in the States when you used to buying it all the time or whatever, and you pick it up off the shelf and you purchase it. But here you gotta hesitate and pause for a minute, because the price may be double,
triple,
or more.
Or quadruple. Perfect example. I like the barbecue, and here in Mexico,
like the barbecue, y'all.
In Mexico, they cook with a lot of mesquite, right? And they use these charcoal briquettes type things. I don't even know what to. And so they have Kingsford.
They do have Kingsford.
They have Kingsford, and they have wood like we normally get in the States. Like they have your pecan wood, your cherry wood, apple wood. They come in the bags with the chunks. Now, one of those bags, chunks of wood in the States, I think was like $4.95 for a chunk of bag of wood. Here, it's almost $20, maybe even $25 for that bag. And then same bag, and then the little pack of Kingsford charcoal,
the little bag of Kingsford,
will cost you another $20. So you're looking at almost $50 just to barbecue if you want to keep your American style or whatever your style, taste and
all of that.
Or you can just go local and just get the mesquite and whatever charcoal they use and mix it up. So and that's what we mean by trying to maintain a lifestyle and things that you're used to. It may cost you a little bit more.
You may have to be adventurous in the things that you are used to, and just branch out and see. Maybe other brands are better,
or just as good,
or just as good. Have less preservatives or something like that. It can be expensive to live a lifestyle that you're used to. It can be, not always, but it can be. But it can be.
You have to keep that in mind.
Yes. But I also will say this, that There's some amazing products, amazing things as far as like when you're grocery shopping, things to try, even new fruits and vegetables that you may not have experienced or have access to in the States or in other countries. You have this great opportunity now to expand your palate and immerse yourself in what Mexico has to offer, specifically San Miguel has to offer in regards to different items. And so with that being said, enjoy this time frame that you would be in and explore. Another thing that we like to talk about is when things happen.
Yeah.
When things happen, because things will. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not wishing anything on you, but sometimes life just be lifing. If I could just say that. And you know, there are little things that probably even occur where you are right now every day. And the question to ask yourself just because you're abroad is, are you going to run from these things, or are you going to let these things determine your experience as a whole, right? If, as an example, if you are where you are right now and like your water pipe busts, you fix it, right? You handle it, you deal with it, you address it. You may be frustrated, you may be angry, you may be upset, but you know what? In your world, life moves on, right? And you go ahead and you clean it up, or hire who you need to, and get it rectified, and you go about your timeline, and you've had this experience. But sometimes what happens is when you move abroad, and I'm not saying this to anyone in specific or any place specific or anything like that, when challenges arise for us, we are looking at taking the same approach as what we would have taken, if we were back where we were, right? We don't let this hinder our experience. It's just a part of it. You know, there's always going to be pluses and minuses, good and bad, negative, positive. And so we can't take little things that happen to us, as well as like people's perceptions and things like that. We can't take those and make that the entire experience that we're having.
Right, by saying generalize it, like, oh, and you know, you can see it time and time again, something like that happen, and just people, I can't stand Mexico, I'm moving back because of...
Yeah, because something happened to me, this one experience happened to me, oh my gosh, all of Mexico is bad. No, all of Mexico is not bad. This experience happened, and this experience occurred. And if it had occurred where you were in the home, you don't, where you were, you don't chalk it up as that's the whole of the United States, right? This is just the segment of, or something that occurred to you. Also, people come from different walks of life, raised certain ways, things like that. So you can't, if you've encountered or run across someone who was less than stellar in your experience with them, you don't take that as that's the whole of the place that you have moved abroad to. You just understand that there are individuals and they have their own perspectives. But over the whole or the majority of your experience, has it been pleasant? And you have to look at things like that. I think we get to a certain expectation that everything has to be 100% or none. And that is not the type of viewpoint you should have in life in general, but especially if you're moving abroad to another place, right? You chose this place initially for a specific purpose, and do not let these little things deter you from that goal, right?
Yeah.
So also, a challenge can be adjustment to how things are done here. In any place that you're moving abroad, there may be things that are not like what you've experienced before. You gave a good example yesterday to me about mañana.
When people say mañana, anything you're doing, people, generally don't like to say no here, so they'll say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll,
Yes.
bring this tomorrow, do something tomorrow.
Oh, I have it, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow. And it doesn't necessarily mean the next day.
Right. Mañana, the word mañana, when it's said, it means, tomorrow.
It translates to tomorrow, but it means sometime in the future.
Yeah, sometime in the future. And maybe they don't define what the future is. It's just general. So you have to kind of understand that a little bit and be patient. That's a big one. Being patient,
definitely a big one.
Being flexible, being open to learning a new way of handling things is extremely important because of the fact that these are things that are solid just across the board that happens and occur in everyday locals' life. And now you are amongst that lifestyle, if that makes sense. And so you need to adjust accordingly. And you never know, sometimes it's a win-win because we teach each other, right? We begin to understand each other because now you're understanding the culture, and then they are also open to understanding a little bit about your culture and maybe kind of bring this together to see how it both works. It's a very nice mix, and I'm also learning that in the real estate world as well. So yes, cultural adjustment.
Yeah, I'm about to say that kind of worked in my favor because I'm the type of person that don't like to bug people, right? If you say you're gonna do something, you say you're gonna do it. I'm not gonna keep bugging you every day until it's done. So for me,
I might.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, it works out because I wasn't gonna bug you anyway. So when like for example, we'll order some water and the guy says he'll be here later or whatever, and then 4 or 5 hours later you're texting him like, "Are you still coming?" I'm like, he'll get here when he get here. I'm not gonna keep bugging somebody. That's just me.
That is him.
So it kind of worked out for me.
Yeah, but now he is the gentleman who delivers our water. He understands, and he's like, she really does.
Yeah, I need to deliver the water because
she really does has a time.
She's gonna be blowing up my phone.
No, he's of the mindset that when she actually reaches out, that I do need to give her a specific time frame. He even sends me pictures of where he is on the road.
That lets you know right there. What does that tell you?
No, but he's appreciative. He is. He really does. He does. But it's the learning, right? It's the learning process of yes, when I say mañana, to her, it's important that I specify what mañana is. And so it works. And then, if he says he's not gonna be able to make it, I'm okay with that. I don't be like, well, you said you was gonna be. No, that is not what I do. But you see his reaction. But in any event, it works. Okay, it works. So, and it's the respecting of each other's culture. It's the respecting of each other's culture that I really want to push. But we've said all of these things that are potential or can be potential challenges to living abroad or moving specifically to San Miguel de Allende. But we definitely want to share with you some of the beautiful things of San Miguel. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Talk about the food.
Oh my gosh. The food is awesome. Let me explain something to you guys. You can get as downright to the most inexpensive things as your taco stands, your tortas, and things like that. And then you can turn around and get as high end as Michelin star quality cuisine here. San Miguel is known as a foodie hub.
Yes.
Okay, a true foodie hub. And if you are a foodie or food lover, this is paradise for you.
Sure.
This is paradise for you. Whatever type of cuisine you're looking for,
it's here.
They got it. And that is one of the beautiful things that we love about San Miguel is that we do have the ability to taste, experience, and be as diverse with our palates as we would love them to be. Run wild with it, if you will. And getting to meet some of these people from, other countries too. San Miguel definitely has a lot of people coming from other countries here, building businesses, establishing services and products. And so we get the best of it and getting to immerse ourselves in their cultures as well by being here in San Miguel.
Yeah. Speaking of cultures, there's a lot of festivals.
Oh my gosh.
Concerts.
Events.
Classes, art things.
History, wineries. For those of you who don't know, we do have La Gruta, which is one of the nice spas.
Hot springs. Yeah.
Hot springs in San Miguel. They have wineries. They have vineyards that you are able to come and experience and have, a nice lunch or brunch or an early dinner on these wineries. They also have horses.
Yeah, equestrian.
They have equestrian events. We're talking national, international events that occur here in San Miguel for those who are equestrian lovers. And they have really big events 3 times a year here where people fly in and enjoy that event. There are so many things going on with the arts as well. San Miguel is known as one of the artsy cities. Though it is small, it packs a big punch with what it has access to. If you're looking at learning to paint or draw, or you want to do some type of craft like, pottery, or jewelry making. There's so many different things. What else? You name it.
Gun shooting thing?
There is a artillery gun shooting area as well. They do have events here that they bring people to for that. There's just so many things. You want jazz, you want blues, you want to samba and salsa and dance to your heart's content. We have it here. Or if you're one of those people who just want to be able to relax, put your feet up and do absolutely nothing and watch an incredible sunset and incredible views, we have that too. Yeah. So there's so much that draws people to San Miguel de Allende. And I know people say, Mexico, water, beach.
Yeah, that's what most people think about.
Right? Yeah. Right, but there is so much more to Mexico than that. And the culture is rich, the history is rich, and we're here for it. And another little side note about San Miguel de Allende, it's built on
rose quartz.
Rose quartz. That's what we have been told. And for those of you who understand or are into crystals and quartz and all of that, rose quartz meaning like love, and you definitely can feel the love here in San Miguel. You definitely can feel the peace and the tranquility, and it's not just from the things that we're doing, but it is also in the people. And so love that. Yeah. So what do you think about San Miguel de Allende?
I think it's definitely a nice place. For me, I like it better than the coastal places. To me, the coastal places are really nice to visit and relax and all that. But as far as settling down and everyday, day-to-day life, I found it to be a lot better for my life, for sure.
And we're from originally Arizona, and
it's pretty much the same.
The landscape, some of the mountain views and things like that, cactus and things like that remind us of Arizona as well. So definitely feels like home for us. There's just so many things to do here, and then we're close to some incredible places as well, within driving distance. And so we think that you guys should come and visit San Miguel de Allende and check it out for yourself. Don't just take our word for it.
Yeah.
Come and see it for yourself. Also, side note, I am a real estate agent here, a real estate professional here in San Miguel de Allende. Yeah, and also I want to make sure to let you know that we also offer coaching for those of you who are looking at starting the process of moving abroad. We also help with that, especially if you're looking to move abroad to Mexico. And we'll have our link to book a discovery call with us down below in the comments area. Also, if you're looking to do while you're here, a neighborhood tour, or you need a real estate tour, I also, myself and my team, we actually do those also. So the link for my website will also be here in the description as well. So you can book a time to have a neighborhood tour, because there's plenty of beautiful, incredible neighborhoods here, as well as if you're looking to see some real estate while you're here on your travel to experience San Miguel. I would love the opportunity to be able to do that as well.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think we got it covered.
All right. Until next time, guys, if you like the content, the conversation, and the topics that we are sharing and talking about here, go ahead and like,
comment, subscribe.
Yes, and hit the notification bell to be alerted when the next video comes out.
Peace.
Deuces.